Hello, my Scorpio loves. Welcome in. If you're new here, welcome back. If you've been here before, I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I read for myself and my collectives, and I start with a prayer. Spirit angels, ancestors, guides, higher self, those out there willing, wanting, and able to help us on our journey of healing and loving ourselves. We welcome you in and we thank you for the shield of protection that you put around us. We thank you for the clarity and the connection and the message. We thank you for collecting all negative energy sent our way for us to use as fuel for our purposes. And we thank you again. Hello, my Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Come to the front. I welcome you in. We got the Magician card here. It's time for you to manifest something. This is the new moon reading. The new moon happens at 5 a.m. It's a time of manifestations, my Scorpio loves. It is now time for you to manifest something great. The new moon talks about what you're creating after a release period from the full moon. And so we're going to do a 3-card spread, and I'm going to get it to a couple clarifiers. Get some clarifiers, of course. Let's find out, what have we released since the full moon? Show, Scorpio, please, what we've released since the full moon. A relationship, some people in your community. Ooh. It's something that happened quickly. The Eight of Wands talks about quick action, quick communication, also travel. So you may have moved away from a home, you've released a home. Yep, look at that, the Ten of Swords. There was betrayal here. There was a painful ending with a family or with a community. You left your family during the full moon. That's rough, Scorpio. What blessings is the new moon in Pisces bringing in for Scorpios? The Knight of Wands. You're passionate. You're inspired to take action. You're adventurous. You're fearless. Make sure you're not impulsive, though, right? The Knight of Wands also has the ability to be impulsive and move quickly without thinking. You want to be passionate. You want to be energetic. You want to be inspired to move forward, but you want to be careful. You want to be fearless even, but you want to be careful about being impulsive. We also have this Seven of Swords here. And I refuse to see this as something negative when this is what the new moon in Pisces is bringing in for us. It's bringing in strategy. Yes. Okay. Strategy around your finances. Because the Nine of Pentacles, it talks about being self-sufficient, financially independent. But you're going to have to be, it's going to have to be a secret. Don't tell everybody all your business. Don't tell everybody all your business. If people are asking you how much you pay for this, how much you pay for that, ask them why they want to know. And see their response. Watch their facial expressions. If they have an answer, oh, I'm trying to live in that area, if they have an answer that makes you feel at ease with telling them, do. But find out why people want to know your business before you tell them something. Especially around finances. I learned that's like a way for people to send their negative energy your way. But what's the new moon in Pisces coming in? The blessings that are coming in: energy, passion. You're getting ready to be fearless. You're getting ready to be adventurous in ways that, ooh, look, the Seven of Swords, be quiet about your money. Look, what comes after that? The King of Pentacles. And it could have something to do with your intuition, some new creative ideas, some new spiritual ideas that are going to help you have this new wealth that you are creating. What can Scorpios do to help bring the manifestations into fruition? Heal. Keep healing. Keep moving forward. Keep leaving the baggage behind. So keep leaving behind the people who are not harmonious. Even if they're your family, even if they've been in your community for a while, if they bring you chaos, They're going to continue to bring you chaos, and they're going to make you make impulsive decisions. They're going to make you make decisions based off the negative energy of the Knight of Wands. They even may cause you to be angry, or the Knight of Wands in reverse, right? Very, very angry, very scattered energy, delaying your progress. If those people are keeping you in this energy, if being around these people or being around this community is making you have this Knight of Wands in the reverse energy, you have to release that baggage, right? The Six of Swords talks about releasing the baggage, moving on, making change, okay? Be inspired to speak out. Be inspired to move forward. Be inspired to be a free spirit. Explore. Do something new. Wands energy here. Lots of Wands energy. Fiery energy. Oh yeah, for the Four of Wands too. Lots of fiery energy. There's passion, action. Time for you to take action. It's time for you to take action. Okay. Let's get some clarifying cards. Leaving a family is hard with the Four of Wands. It's difficult to leave behind what you're familiar with. It's always uncomfortable because, that's what you're used to. And it takes time to realize that something is unhealthy when that's what you've been used to. But once you realize that, you do need to be adventurous and go find something new. Seek out new adventures. Travel to something new. Release that baggage, release the hurt that you've experienced. Take the knowledge that you've gained and go. Oh, woo. Look, I split the deck and we got forgiveness and friendship in the reverse. This deck doesn't even go in the reverse, but the card just happened to be upside down. Release the energy. Forgive these people who weren't your friends, okay? Forgive these people who weren't harmonious with you, right? Because we are all truly working on healing our own traumas, or not. We're all needing to work on healing our traumas. We act based off the traumas that we've experienced, the things that we've learned to do to protect ourselves or to shield ourselves from the shame, the guilt, from fear, from abandonment, from hurt. We are all making choices and acting based off that energy. Does that mean that some of us harm others in the process? Yes, some of us harm others in the process. Does that mean that you have to accept the harm? No, it does not. And that's why this message is for you to go ahead and heal, move on. How can you help bring your manifestations into fruition? That 10 of Pentacles, that King of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles, you being alone, you being in isolation, you walking away from the family. The Nine of Pentacles talks about a solo person, someone doing this by themselves. You had to leave this community in order to manifest your wealth because they were holding you back. All right, what do we need to see with this Four of Wands? Envy. The Virgos also got that envy card. They were envious of your growth, envious of your journey, envious of your goals. What do I need to know? Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So these people may not have been truthful with you. And while you can't make them be truthful with you, you can't force them to be honest with you. You have to be honest with yourself about whether these people are healthy for you, about what your goals are, where your journey is. You got to be honest with yourself about what you want and what you're doing, regardless of who these people are, whether they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Your success here is based off your honesty. Your success is based off your journey, right? You doing what you need to do for you. Success says, I know that there's no greater goal than love. So you can walk in love and release people. Sometimes you got to release them in love. I love you enough to know that we are not healthy together at this stage or at this point or even at all, right? Because you have to be honest with yourself about what you need, right? And where you're going. The blessing that the new moon in Pisces is bringing in with the Knight of Wands, this energy, this passion, Fearlessness, service. um I was going to talk about this page of wands, right? The page of wands is someone who inspires other people. uh there's someone who are like motivational speakers, preachers, coaches. They motivate others because they're, they're so excited. They're a free spirit and people want to follow them. People want to do things that they do. You're going to have to be passionate and focused on your service. Those people are doing a service. They're providing a service. They're sharing with others what they know, what they've learned by helping others. You're going to have to do a service for others. I feel good when I can help others. Maybe the way that you do it is going to help bring out the lighter side of life. You can do it in a way that is humorous. You can do it in a way that um, provides the information a little bit lighter than others. Humor and purpose. Yeah, I know what I'm here to do. If you know that you're supposed to be someone who serves others in some way, get on it. Get on it if you want that King of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles lifestyle. Do not delay it. Okay? The blessings that are coming in for you is that King of Pentacles lifestyle. How can you bring your manifestations into fruition? You're doing the healing with that Six of Swords. You're needing to do the healing. You're needing to walk away. You're needing to release the baggage. If you have not released those people, you need to do it, Scorpio. It's hard. It's not easy, but do you want to keep being stuck or do you want to actually have your bag? How can you help? Courage. Courage. You're going to have to find the courage, the inner strength to face the fear with confidence. It's difficult to walk away from things. It is. It's difficult to have to heal and release baggage that you've been holding on to. You're so familiar with that bag. You're going to have that feeling of, wait a minute. You ever leave something behind and you're like, I'm missing something. I'm missing something. And you may feel like that for a while because it's something that you're not used to not having. Those people, right? You're not used to not having them around. But once you realize that you've dropped weight, you've dropped baggage, you can move forward. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel the ability. You're going to have the energy that you need to move forward, to work on your goals, to make that Nine of Pentacles, King of Pentacles lifestyle that you're trying to create for yourself. Judgment here. With dropping baggage, there is judgment that has to be made on who to drop, right? I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Everyone is working on their own shit, right? As I talked about, we are all working to understand and heal the traumas that we've experienced, the hurts that we've experienced. And traumas, not everyone has the deep, dark traumas that need to be trigger warnings, right? Sometimes the traumas don't seem like traumas. If you watch Love is Blind and you've seen Clay and AD and you know what I'm talking about, and Clay just kept talking about his father was cheating continuously, and he went with his father because his father and his mother were married for multiple years, like 2 decades or something like that. And throughout that time period, he went to go meet these other women with his dad. His dad kind of like used him as cover. Because, right, who thinks you're going to cheat while you have your child, right? Like, who does that? But that's a trauma that he experienced. That is a trauma. And he didn't even see it that way. That's a trauma you've experienced. Not knowing what a healthy relationship looks like, what it looks like to commit to someone or to commit to something. Even if you've had a family member or your parents, your guardians, the people who brought you up in your formative years, the years where you are deciding who you are and how you are. If you've never seen them commit to anything, that's kind of a trauma because if you haven't seen it happen, you don't know what it looks like. And so those are little tiny things that are little traumas that you don't even realize are things that have shaped and formed you into the person that you've become. And some of those habits that you can see are holding you back, right? So those baggages, if these people aren't healing, if these people aren't doing the work, if these people aren't courageous and brave, if they aren't taking their own unique paths and going through their own challenges to find peace, we got the peace card after that, then you got to drop them. You got to release it and move on. You have to be brave. You have to be courageous and face the fear of the unknown. Face the fear of not knowing what's next. Face the fear of not knowing what happens when you leave this behind, right? You have to you have to make space for the new. You got to make space for the new. You can't hold on to everything. You got to make space for the new. All right, Scorpios. Um you're going to have your abundance. You're going to have your abundance, but you're going to have to release the people, the energies, the thought processes that were preventing you from moving forward. The people who can't be honest with themselves, right? The honesty here, they can't be honest with themselves, let alone you. You're going to have to do that service, be courageous and be brave and doing the service to help others. Be fearless with it, be passionate about it, and be brave. All right, thank you so much for your likes, shares, comments, subscribes. Thank you for rocking with me. Um, Peace and blessings, loves.